everyone, welcome back to What's Sewing On. I am doing another dress today. Shocking, I know, but get used to it because it's summer, it's spring. I'm going to be making a lot of them. I wear them all the time. Sorry. The pattern I chose was very easy Vogue 8292. I love this dress. It's so pretty. I love how flowy it is. I don't normally wear spaghetti straps, but I'm actually going to make it like this only because I can always wear a cardigan over it. I can always wear something like this over it. And I actually have a dual purpose for it. Because of the fabric I'm going to be using, I kind of want to use this possibly in the fall, in the winter as under things. So I can actually wear this as like a petticoat too. So I don't really care that it has spaghetti straps, not my normal, but we're gonna give it a shot. It seems pretty straightforward. 3 big, large rectangles, I'm assuming. So I see in my future a lot of gathering. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be that difficult. I do want to add some detail to it, which I think is going to make it a bit more complicated. But just because I've never done it before, it's probably really simple, but I have an idea to do some pleats down the front and maybe add in some lace detail. Very simple, small. I think it'll look really nice, but I've never done mini pleats like that before. I don't know how to do them. I'm not even going to bother to look it up. I'm just going to give it a try and hopefully it turns out really nice. The material I've chosen, I'm using a big IKEA bed sheet. I got it for $5.49. It's large, it's white, 100% cotton. It's gonna be perfect. For the bottom layer, I'm so excited about this. I found this really vintage bed skirt or dust ruffle. It has like a nice embroidered bottom. It has eyelets on it. It's so pretty. And they're both white, so it matches fairly well. But the bottom is gonna be so nice. And by using that dust ruffle at the bottom, I won't actually have to hem my dress. It's like a cheat hack. The best thing about this project, I think. I did not cheat and I didn't cut anything out, so I'm going to show you the fabric super quick. It's just bed sheets, and then we're going to start cutting.
Nell, you're the only girl for me.
Oh, yes, I know her, but I am over 3.
I wish I'd met you in the days of yore.
Go on, kid, I've heard that stuff before.
Now kiss me, dear, and I'll promise to be true.
To kiss your grandma, and she'll be true to you.
Love me, dearie, and I will treat you right.
I love you, well, no, not tonight.
So on the front of the shirt, I've added extra room in the, I added 2 inches. Oh, it's gathered, right? So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm going to give it a really good press right down the middle, and then right on the very edge, I'm gonna make stitches all the way down, open it up, and then fold it again, and then do the same thing, and keep doing that. So there's 5 right down the middle. And then I'm going to leave room where I'm going to put the lace, and then I'm going to put 2 more like that. I hope it turns out okay. I have more bed sheets, so if I actually do need to redo it, it doesn't look good, I can always just cut new pieces. But that's what I think I'm going to do, and I'm just going to get that out of the way right now. So I'm going to go try that. So basically what I did was fold it right down the middle, and then I pressed it really well, and then I stitched very closely to the edge of the fabric, and then I pressed it again. So now for the next pleat, I'm doing them 1/2 inch. So basically all I'm going to do is take a bit of fabric and line it right up with that first seam. So I'm just pinching about 1/2 inch of fabric and then folding it up to meet the seam before it, and then give it a press. And then while holding the iron to it, I'm just going to keep gathering and folding the fabric up to meet that first stitch, making sure I'm only grabbing about 1/2 inch worth of fabric. So I have my pleats in. They're as, you know, I'm pretty happy with them actually. They're not completely even, but for eyeballing it, I'm actually really happy with it. So I think it looks pretty nice. I was only going to be doing 5 here, but I ended up doing 7 The two that I was going to do on the either side, I ended up just putting them in the middle because the lace that I thought I was going to be using isn't the lace that I thought it was, if that makes sense. I was looking for a lace that had a bar on both sides, and the one that I found, that I have quite a bit of, has a decorative edge, which I ended up really liking with it. So I think it's just gonna go, you know, I'm gonna sew it in as close to the pleat as possible. And it's just going to be free like this on one side. So I think putting pleats on this side would look weird with the decorative edge. So I think it's just gonna look like this. And obviously it's gonna be on both sides. I've also double checked to make sure that it's back down to the size that matches the pattern, and it's exactly the size that it started out to be. So you know what? It's all working out. All in. I love it. It looks so cute. And then as soon as I finished, I realized that this top has a bit of the hip into it. So I only needed to do probably that much. Where is it? I don't know what I was thinking. The waistline is here. So all of this I don't need because that's gonna look weird if it's just in my front. But I'm gonna leave it for now because I obviously need to figure out where my waistline is going to hit. And I'd rather remove just this after. One part of the skirt does go over this, so I think that will cover the pleats here. But it's supposed to be an elastic waistband, and I kind of was thinking I'd like a drawstring instead of elastic. Not a huge fan of elastic, but we're just gonna keep going with it because I really like the way it looks. So there's no point in worrying about that. And again, I don't want to remove this until I know exactly where my waist is going to be, and then I'll remove it after. So next step is sewing the front and the back together all along the sides. And now that it's attached, I'm just going to go apply the facing. So now my facing is on. I have it all stitched together. I have serged all the edges. It's looking really nice on the inside, and I've even put in the channel for whenever I do the ties, which I think I'm just going to go and do now because it's always fun flipping fabric.
The rainbow shone out smiling from the summer sky, and when she saw this sign, she sighed.
Now can't you see it's fate, he cried.
I thought I would do a little update, even though I guess I kind of just showed this. I think what I'm going to do, it's getting kind of late, but I want to get as much done as possible. I just have all of my layers for the skirt. I have to sew the sides together and then gather everything. And boy, do I love gathering. When I picked this lace, it's so pretty and I really like it. So I think I might attach this between the layers of the gathers. So this will kind of be on the outside in between each layer. I don't think I'm going to do it at the waist. I think I'm just going to start on the second and then third layer. And then obviously the bottom is going to be this eyelet fabric, dust ruffle, bed skirt. What do people call it? I don't know. I've heard both. The bed skirt dust ruffle is called Lady Sandra. So I think this dress is going to be called Lady Sandra. Just thought I would share that. I had to cut around a few spots of the dust ruffle, which I'm really sad about. I guess when I bought it, I didn't notice. I'm not sure if those are moth bites. They're so fine. I don't know. But this one for sure isn't. And I'm thinking maybe it was in a box or something because it's like the perfect slash lines, and it happened a couple times. So I'm thinking whenever they took it out of possibly at the thrift store, they had an X-Acto knife and maybe went right through it. I don't really know, but that really sucked. So I had to cut around a few pieces. So I was hoping to have like one big long piece left because I knew I wasn't going to be using all of it. Unfortunately, there are a couple different sizes. But I at least for sure had enough for my 4 panels for the bottom. So it'll be fine. I think it'll be really nice. Oh, I'm gonna put my head down. I gotta get more of this done because the weekend is almost over.
When sweet Molly Ryan declares her sweetheart began to think of a plan where they...
So I don't know if it's just because I was so tired last night, but I definitely didn't get to putting these together. So I am doing that this morning. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it, but I did run into a problem that I, again, don't know if it was my tired brain or what. But I read this and forgot completely about this step. So basically, I was thinking, you know, tier 7, 8, and 9, because upper, lower, lower. So for some reason, this stuck in my mind whenever I was thinking about putting it together, and then also seeing, you know, this 1 to 3 tier. But I completely forgot that that is already part of the waist, what I screwed up earlier that I have to cut off. So I actually just thought this is 1 tier, this is 1 tier, this is 1 tier. These two are the exact same size. This one is smaller. So when I was putting it all together last night, and then I just gave up because I finally looked at this, and 8 and 9 are all supposed to go together. But I can't do that because this is my 9 and this is my 8. So I can't attach those together. So basically what I did, I went with 8. I took 6 to 8 inches off all the sides. And then it still, honestly, it still wasn't working. I already know why. It's because this fabric was already pre-gathered, right? And I did it quick, and instead of ironing this out so it was straight, it was smaller. It was already scrunched. And then I just cut it with that in mind. Anyways, so they were exactly the same. So what I ended up doing, I pinned them together. I made sure that all of the side seams were aligned. And then I did a stitch from side seam to side seam with a long gather. And then I just gathered both of them together. And then I did that for all 4 sections. And then once I measured them and they were all equal in gathers, I then just went and I did a final stitch. So I think I'm happy with how it looks. I'm hoping it's going to be okay, but I'm only going to know once it's actually on. So basically I'm going to do that now for 7. And I'm really worried because there is obviously quite a bit of fabric here. And now since I'm attaching this one to the waist, because I'm going to be cutting the bottom of the shirt off, we're going to have to see how that goes. So I'm going to go and pin this one to this one, sew it together the same way I did the other one, and then I'm going to work on the waist and attaching the waistband.
Subsequent to passing through the clouds and having lots of fun, we'll go up into the sweetest sky of blue, and on ascending we will figure out the two, but on returning to old terra firma we will be as one.
Are you mad at me? You haven't come down at all in like 2 days. Come here. I don't think I'm going to finish this today. No. I can't figure out the waistband. What should I do? I did my hair for nothing. I'm going to have to do the reveal after work tomorrow, eh? That's what it's looking like. Thank you for the break. I needed a snuggle. Oh, your eyes are so funny. So here's where I'm at. And for the life of me, I don't know what to do. I made this extra tie, which took forever. This is the inside of the shirt that I'm basically have to cut all off because I ended up, you know the whole mistake. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is cut this straight across about maybe 1.5 inches, serge the edge of it, then I can just flip it up once and then hopefully sew in the middle of these 2 lines, and then on the back I can make 2 little buttonholes for it to come out, and then I can just insert it in through here through the back. It's obviously way too big because it's supposed to be gathered with an elastic, but since I've already gone off so far off course, I might as well just do what I kind of planned originally with the tie waistband, then with an elastic waistband. I can always do an elastic and then just use this on the outside for the bow in the back. Would that be better? Shit. I think I'm gonna do that. What do I have to do for elastic? Just measure it with my waist, leave a little bit extra. I'm gonna do that. Oh my gosh. I hate elastic.
The higher flyer than Mariah in the town. Mariah, you set my heart on fire. If you I most desire.
There's no way I'm doing the reveal today. It's just not gonna happen. I think it was some kind of sign, foreshadowing, if you will, of me putting on this shirt. It was a chore to keep calm. Because I have more time, I had mentioned earlier that I wanted to do the lace detail sandwiched between, but this lace was too thin and I thought putting it in there, it would probably just stick out straight from the fabric and I didn't want that. But now I'm thinking, what if I gather a bunch of it and then sew it over top around the layers? So what I'm going to do is just gather a bunch of this, pin it on, sew it down, and then tomorrow at some point after work, there will be a reveal. What a day.
Landed flop, an ambulance for Willie had to call. And when they took him in, she flattened him so thin that you couldn't hardly notice him at all.
London dropped its dignity.
Yeah.
So has France and Germany.
Yeah.
All hands are dancing to a raggedy melody full of originality.
Sing it, folks.
The folks who live in sunny Spain
Give it up.
dance to a strain they call the Spanish tango.
Baby.
Dukes and lords and Russian czars, men who own their motor cars, throw up their shoulders to that raggedy melody full of originality. Italian opera singers have learned to snap their fingers.
Give it to 'em, baby.
The world goes round to the sound of the international.
International.
The international ride.
There is a lot of fabric here. I feel like I could be the hot air balloon and pilot a hot air balloon basket, whatever that is. My brain, I'm so tired. Oh my gosh. You get it. There's a lot here. And you know what? I did really want a big flowy dress, but I guess I just didn't realize how big a flowy dress I was making. Was it very easy? Probably. Did I make it very easy? No. I feel like that meme, like the easy way, my way. I don't know. Like I read the pattern twice before I started and then I was reading it as I go. And I'm pretty sure I even said in the intro, and I'm pretty sure I just had that illustration stuck in my head, 7, 8, 9, because putting 8 and 9 together was never, not even a little bit on my radar at all. And how big would the skirt have been if I put those two panels together? This is a lot of fabric. I even went into panel 8 and I cut down on some of it on the sides once I started realizing, like, why is 9 and 8, when I put them on top of each other, the same size? All the gathers didn't matter. So I went in, I realized my mistake, but then I went in and I cut down all 4 panels, a bunch of fabric, and it was still non-existent gathers, which is why I ended up gathering them together to give it a little bit more of the gathered look. And it turned out fine. To say, I'm really happy that I ran into so many issues. Super glad, actually. That gave me the extra time to put on the lace. Whenever I decided that the lace was too small to fit in between the 2 layers, I just had X'd the lace in my head, so that was never even going to be something I was going to do. I didn't even think of ways to do it. And then again last night, whenever it was already pretty late and I just didn't feel like getting dressed up and then going to take pictures. And I'm happy because it kind of gave me a little bit of time to be like, okay, what can I do better on the dress? Because whenever I put it on, I was like, well, it's plain, it's fluffy, it's kind of what I wanted. I still like the bottom, I really like the top, like, yeah. And then once I gathered it and put the lace on it, it changed the dress. When I had tried it on before the lace, I was just like, and after I put it on with the lace, I was just like, I had a smile on my face because it just, I don't know. I really like it. Might not be some people's taste, but I definitely like this dress. I'm so happy that I had that extra time to go in and put that lace on. It just makes it more of a finished dress. I'm happy that happened. I feel like my voice is so monotone. I'm so tired. I still have a whole ass video to edit. And then with that extra fabric with the shirt, since I had, you know, made another mistake and did this little design all the way down, which I love, by the way. I think it looks so cute. They're not perfectly even. They're not perfect. But you know what? I don't care. Whatever. I still like it. I'm proud of myself for my first time. I definitely could have went in and fixed it, but I was noticing because I had to pull out some of the stitches before, and obviously it's an IKEA bedsheet. It's still 100% cotton, but you could really see the holes through it, even though I was using a really small, the smallest size needle basically. You could still see the holes, so I was really afraid that I was going to start ruining it, so I didn't really want to play around with it. And you know what? I don't care because it looks super nice, and I don't think anyone's going to be that close in there. And with the ties, you can almost not even see it. I don't know if I'm going to end up wearing this in the reveal, so I might as well show it now in case I don't because of my lipstick. But with the extra fabric that I didn't end up using because I ended up using 7, 8, and 9 instead of part of the stomach, which now I'm really curious to see what that would have been like, because I feel like there wasn't a ton of fabric there. So I made a mask that matches it. Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm actually going to wear it, even though it's adorable. It's really cute. It kind of has, you know, a certain look to it. But now I'm thinking that I did waste the fabric, but I couldn't have done anything else with it. But I don't know if you can see that. A certain female reproductive organ. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on YouTube, so I'm just gonna go with that. The lines. So I don't know if I'll actually wear this mask, but you know what? I gave myself a really good laugh. If I do wear it, maybe I'll wear it around friends to give them a laugh. You know, a little talking point. But at least I try not to waste that piece of fabric. If I make it again, which I think I want to, because I really like how this one is with, you know, the contrasting fabrics, well, all same color, but they have different patterns on it. I think that's adorable. And if I could get maybe 2 or 3 different sheets that kind of go together, I think that would be so pretty, very cottagecore. So I think I'm going to make something like that eventually. I think I would use less fabric. In all honesty, I really can't understand how 2 sections were on the bottom. And I feel like it's probably has to do with the gathering because you had to make it into sections. But this line right down the front, I really hate it. Like I absolutely hate it. And yes, it does kind of hide in the gathers, but not perfectly. I think I would probably try to, just for the front panels, cut it on the fold so it's just all one big one. I really don't care about the back, but definitely at the front because I hate that line. But all in all, with all the mistakes I've made, it came together. I do really like the dress. I love this top. It's so delicate and it's so pretty. So it's something that I'm definitely going to try again and I'm going to get better at because I really like it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and I hope you subscribe. I will see everybody on Tuesday for my next video. I don't like this one at all. I was looking, hoping, if I get red lipstick anywhere on this, I'm gonna be so mad. Dust Russell. I had so many things under this skirt. Man, I'm bad with this. Chose to go with, it didn't work. Ugh.